Welcome friends, welcome back to the kitchen. Welcome back to what was on sale at the grocery store this week. These were chicken leg thigh quarters. A loonie a pound, a toonie a kilo. And so I bought a whole mess of them, and you've seen them already a couple of times. And today we're going to make something, and you're going to kind of realize that I've been toying with you over the last couple of months. In my timeline, over the last week, I've made 3 recipes, or this will be the third one. I've already made 2 recipes. This will be the third recipe. And in my timeline, it's really only been a week. Bacon fat into the brazier, heating that up. We're going to brown the chicken to begin with. And so if you go back a couple of months, there will be a braised sausage dish. And you're going to notice that pretty much exactly the same stuff on this countertop as in that video. Sausage instead of chicken. If you go back a month, you're going to see a shrimp and grits dish with exactly pretty much the same ingredient list with chicken, with shrimp braised. And today we're going to do a take on chicken cacciatore, which is one of those recipes that is a non-recipe. It's one of those recipes that every household has a take on it. And if you go regionally, there are differences in each region, whether you're using white wine or red wine. You know, are you putting in hot peppers or not hot peppers? Are you using capers? What kind of peppers are you using? What type of herbs are you putting in? The commonality really only seems to be chicken, onion, tomato, wine. And then everything else is sort of cook's choice, which I think is wonderful because it allows you to play with things. And then it allows you to make those other dishes, one with the sausage and one with the shrimp, that are just essentially just takes on it. And you can play with it and make it your own. So today we're going to do chicken. And see what happens. And so I am just browning the skin, browning the outside of this chicken. I'm not trying to cook it all the way through. It will finish cooking in the oven. Okay, I think that's good enough because we're going to finish it in the oven. So I always hesitate to make a recipe like this or to use the name chicken cacciatore or any dish for that matter like this because I always get hate mail with people talking about tradition. It's not traditional. You're not respecting tradition. And my response to that is always, you know, tradition is a slippery slope. It really is. Zucchini, I like zucchini, so I'm putting in some zucchini and we're gonna saute that off just to brown it a little bit before we put in the other things. Tradition is a slippery slope. If you're talking about what your grandmother made, and I make all kinds of things that my grandmother made, and I love them, and I respect what she did, and try to make them the same, but I know that I don't make them the same. I know that I have changed her recipes to suit my personal taste. And I also know that what my grandmother made is not what her grandmother made, because ingredients change, tastes change. Your station economically may have changed, and you've changed the recipe to suit all of those things. And in the case of a recipe like this, what is tradition? And I'm asking that as a very serious question. What do you believe tradition is when you're trying to cling to that tradition? Is it what your grandmother made? And that's great. I love that. Please do that. Is it what your grandmother's grandmother made? Your grandmother's grandmother, or you know what I'm talking about. Maybe not literally your grandmother's grandmother, or if you're 15 and watching this, the math probably doesn't work. But when you go back far enough, a lot of this stuff was not in this dish. And I think that's something that we also have to honor. There is a time when my ancestors who came from Ireland had never seen a potato. Didn't know what it was, didn't know how to cook it, didn't know anything about it. So, you know, things change. The world changes. Now, I'm going to add in onions at this point. A couple sliced onions and some chopped up mushrooms. And we're just going to fry those until the mushrooms have lost most of their liquid and the onions are translucent. Cooking right along here. We're looking good. I'm going to put in some white wine at this point. White wine, red wine, use whichever one you like. Use a flavor that you like. I like white wine better than red wine in this type of dish because I find that white wine lifts all of the other flavors instead of forcing a flavor onto everything. If you don't want to cook with wine, like I've said a million times before, don't. It's completely fine. Don't cook with wine. Pouring a little chicken stock at this stage just to get the fond off the bottom of the pan. And then when we put in the tomatoes, tip in a little bit of your favorite vinegar. And you're gonna kind of get to the same spot. Not exact, but you're gonna get to pretty much the same spot. So I'm gonna reduce the wine now, turn up the heat, reduce the wine until the pan is almost dry. While that's bubbling away, I'm gonna put in some pepperoncini piccanti. This is hot pepper chopped up, packed in oil. I love the flavor. I'm putting it in. Okay, we're getting there. Looking great. I've got a couple of cloves of garlic chopped up. In they go. This is a mild banana pepper. Actually, it's several mild banana peppers chopped up. They're not going to bring any heat. They're going to bring lots of flavor. They're going to bring some acidity and saltiness from the vinegar that they were pickled in. That's going to be great. Turn the heat down a little bit now. There's a bunch of arguments to be made for different flavorings and seasonings at this point. I have some fresh thyme and some fresh rosemary. That's what I'm going to use today. I'm going to put them in whole and I'll pull them out later. I know that a lot of people are going to grab for a jug of this Italian seasoning. If that's your thing, go right ahead. I enjoy it on occasion. Definitely something that you could put in to bring the flavor. A little bit in, taste it, figure out what you need. Oregano, definitely oregano. All of those things are definite add-ins for this type of dish. You can just make it your own. Do what you like. Okay, looking good. Now, I've got a couple of chopped up sweet bell peppers. In those go. Can of tomatoes and all of the juice. In that goes. And then I'm going to put the chicken on top. Okay, I've got the oven preheated to 375. I'm going to put this in the oven uncovered. I like my chicken skin crispy. You could finish it on the stovetop if you want. Put the lid kind of partially covering it, little spot for the steam to escape. Finish it on the stovetop. Perfectly fine. 375 in the oven for me in order to get that crispy chicken skin. Okay, now, definitely you could nestle the chicken farther into the tomato and the rest of the sauce. But I like crispy skin.
Glen likes crispy skin. Hello, friends. Hey, Glen.
Hey, Jules.
Which side am I on here? There we go. All right. Give me some space, mister.
Okay.
Ooh, that looks hot.
It is a little bit hot. There is...
There's a hot pepper right there.
There's some... Oh,
I thought maybe that was the
and
top of a banana pepper,
there we go.
but no.
Nope.
It's your spices.
So there we go.
Your herbs, I guess.
Well, cut some chicken off here.
Oh, definitely.
Can we?
Has crispy skin. I don't know. Apparently, we don't even know what direction to cut it anymore.
Well, it's got the back on it, which I always find kind of weird when you buy the leg quarters. There we go. Okay, a little chicken, a little sauce. Serve this with polenta. Serve it with... I mean, the chicken's moist because you essentially braise it, right? There's enough liquid in there that you could put it over rice. You could put it over...
There's more.
Oh, all kinds of different things. Grits. I would put it over grits because I really like grits.
With or without cheese, Glenn?
Yeah, that's well, with cheese. I would put a hard Italian cheese with this. So,
Vegetables are nice too.
as I've shown over the last 3 months, and for us it's only been a week, I've served this pretty much the same dish with sausage, with shrimp, and now with chicken. It's all essentially the same thing. And you have so many options to play with. I was going to put capers in, and I forgot. I was going to put olives in, but I couldn't find the olives that I wanted in the fridge. There's so many ways that you can change this, but it's a simple,
It's nice.
tasty weeknight meal. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.